I didn't expect to be making this video today, but I had such a prolific dream. I know that I'm meant to share it with a collective. I'm going to be vulnerable in sharing aspects of my personal experience, and I want to share with you if you have ever experienced domestic violence, sexual assault, or trauma, please just observe there might be triggers in what I'm about to share with you with this dream. And so if you want to catch me in the next video, I appreciate it. I will actually put a link in the description box below where I have a guided meditation on helping you heal trauma. And one of the things that probably hasn't come up so much here on YouTube is that I'm a medical medium. And what that means is that I have the ability, not as a physician that can diagnose and offer a treatment plan, but I have the ability to look at energetic anatomy. And every time I see those imbalances within somebody, those those like health challenges, whether you're dealing with chronic inflammation, autoimmune, diabetes, or even cancer, even just a common cold or having injured an extremity or a limb, I'm able to look at the energy and the trauma that is within your energetic system that is connected to what is happening. So, all those friends and people that I connect with on TikTok have watched me do this live on TikTok time and time again. And it's really profound to see how when we shift our energy, when we release baggage, we are able to fully step into a higher version of ourselves. And I shared in the last video that going through this first solar eclipse of 2025 is really about shedding an old identity. And I like to just sync this up to the Chinese astrology, which is about the year of the snake. And I love the fact that the snake has to shed its skin in order to move into a higher version of itself. So, with some of these soulful connections, I just want to share with you the dream that I had. It was actually a very frightening dream. I had a dream that there was a man, actually, really, gender wasn't so much an issue, but a large figure that was standing at the foot of my bed. It was wearing a red cloak, a red hood, and had a red Venetian mask on. I actually created an AI image of it, and I'm going to just put it here so you can have a really accurate understanding of what was standing over me in my dream. And as I was staring at this figure, I realized I had no fear. And even though this figure took its red gloved hand, reached to my neck, and started to pinch the right side of my neck so intensely, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I still wasn't frightened. I still wasn't scared. Next thing that I know is that I woke up from this dream and my dog had been, I have a 100-pound Great Dane, usually always interrupts me, even when I do these videos. She was standing next to my bed and she was comforting me. And I just sort of grounded me into awakening out of this very terrifying horror like dream. But it's very interesting. After petting my dog for just a couple of minutes, she went back to her dog bed. I fell back asleep. And then I woke up this morning and journaled about the dream that I had. And I feel like it's very much tethered into this solar eclipse energy that we are moving through, which is about letting go of baggage and stepping into higher forms of our identity. I want you to understand the dream that I had, I know will resonate with others that have been dealing with domestic violence, with assault, or with trauma, perhaps even PTSD, to give you insight and to help you understand that we are collectively healing. And I want to just send this blessing, this reminder that you are healing day by day. So, this red robed, red masked figure that was standing over my bed, there's some immediate interpretations and symbolisms that come up. And for all those people who are down with Christianity and are listening to me talk about healing trauma in a very soulful way, I want you to know that I think that the ascended master, Jesus Christ, is real and amazing. But I have to also help you understand that God has made me to be who I am. So if you want to take time to shame me or say that I'm connected to demons, that's why I had this dream. I feel like you're not on my vibe, so I would just encourage you not to follow me and just go on your own path. I just, like, why waste my time and yours? So I'm really just here for people that understand that we can actually heal through connecting with angels, ascended masters, spirit guides, our higher self. There's so many different ways in which we can heal. So I just wanted to say that right now. So let me just tell you a little bit about the interpretations of that red robe and the mask. It is sort of like the archetype of domination and control. And whether that is symbolic or that's connected to like black magic, voodoo. But in my dream, I was so protected. Even when that red gloved hand reached out for my neck, I still wasn't scared. And I believe when you stand in the energy of light and faith and hope and love, you do not need be fearful or scared. I also want to say that the mask represents hidden identities. So that can be connected to past life contracts, deception with people in this life. It can also be a representation of unhealed energetic attachments or unhealed patterns. So I was thinking about all of these different symbols. The other thing too is the throat. Okay. This is connected to the throat chakra, and this is about expressing truth. And when you experience trauma, whether it's something as an adult, a child, a teenager, oftentimes we have a very hard time expressing our truth. Sometimes the people around us, even the people who identify as family, don't want to hear our truth. They don't want to recognize our trauma. And then the right side of the body is connected to the masculine. That is about assertiveness. It's about taking action, which we've been going through these double Mercury, Venus retrogrades. We've had the lunar and solar eclipse season. It hasn't been an era of action taking, but we're getting ready to move into that. We're shedding that skin. We're stepping into something more vibrant, a higher version of ourselves where we are releasing the trauma that we're connected to. So what I realized with this figure that was standing in my dream over me and really trying to choke me, which was obviously terrifying, but I wasn't scared, and I wasn't scared when the dog came and woke me up, even though I could still feel that tension around my neck. I wasn't scared. I realized that I am divinely connected to a source that keeps me protected through absolutely everything. So, what came up after I started to look at the immediate interpretation and symbolisms of this figure was that, to me, the way that I read my dream is that it's connected to trauma patterns in my relationships. And this is where I just want to be sensitive to people that we all have trauma. And many of us, particularly light workers, healers, mediums, intuitives, empaths, are people who had to walk on eggshells around bullies, traumatizing people, narcissists, those types of individuals that work to actually dominate and control you. And that's something that a lot of us are moving through at this time here at the start of this Aries season. We are being encouraged to find ways to let go of our past, to let go of the appearance or the illusion of dominance and control, and to find our voice to speak our truth. So, with threats, violence, and violations from other people, what came up for me is that in my life, I lived in a family where I constantly walked on eggshells and I had to people please others. Me and my feminine, I was easily conditioned into making others a priority. And so I've had to learn over the last several decades how to break the pattern and understand that my needs and wants are very important when it comes to relationships, love and relationships of all kind. And if you resonate with being an individual that has been more of a caretaker, that has had to support other people, and that has not had your needs and your wants valued by those other people that you've been caring for, then I want to just usher in this great awakening that you're stepping into, even by listening to this video. I will very specifically want you to understand that as the empath, the intuitive, the light worker, the individual that you don't need a label, okay? That your needs and wants are very important, and that having boundaries and understanding how to say no to those that try to control you is imperative right now. I realized my patterns in relationships from my family to men that I dated in my 20s to previous partners that I had, that when I said no, I had to experience high conflict violence. In some cases, I was sexually assaulted. In some cases, I had death threats uttered against me. In some cases, I had my property damaged, or I had those that attempt to control me through trying to ruin me. And I know that I'm not the only individual that once you finally say, no, I don't want to participate in this relationship, that red masked figure removes that mask to reveal the truth of who they are. Because if somebody really loves you and if somebody really truly wants to honor and respect you, when you say no, then there's no need for the violence that ensues. It's almost as though that figure that was standing over my bed was me saying, I no longer accept the people pleasing ways in which I had existed before. So that fear of healing is literally brought into the light. I experience this symbolically through my dream. But one of the things that also came forward, which by the way, I felt like having this dream was incredibly powerful at helping me realize how much I have healed. Now that I have stepped out of that phase of healing through even a trial like a dream, I realize that there are subconscious spheres that I need to keep healing. And that's where the nervous system keeps an imprint of the trauma and the violence that we have experienced in the past. And I want to encourage you as you receive this video and as you watch this, that there are ways in which you can reset your nervous system. So I shared with you, I'm a medical medium. I'm able to look at your energy and tell you where the energy is stuck. That can be stuck in the nervous system, and it can be imprinted on body organs, in your blood, in many different ways. But I'm going to share with you ways that you can start to heal right now and how to step into a greater healing path so that you can end the patterns, the soul contracts, and finalize the past and let it be gone so that you can step forward into creating a greater life of abundance. So, I want to share with you what those three specific ways that I think will help you. The first is that we're going to ground ourselves through somatic anchoring. Now, the beautiful thing is that I'm including a free download so that you can get this as a PDF. You just have to click the link in the description box below and it's yours forever. You can use this anytime you feel threatened or you're ready to heal greater levels of your energy. So definitely check that out if you have an opportunity to do that. I'm going to walk you through it though. The first thing that we're going to do is, and I'm starting to get myself more comfortable, is that I want you to place your hand on your throat because so many of us intuitive people who have reduced our boundaries in order to people please, in order to be loved, in order to be accepted, we actually need to find our voice again. We need to step into authentic communication. So when you take one of your hands and place it just lightly on your throat and take the other hand and place it gently on your heart. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to step into deep, slow breathing. And when you start to feel your system soften down because your hands are connected to the light of universal healing, I want you to say to yourself that it is safe to be seen. It is safe to say no. And my truth is sacred. I deserve to be respected. So take a couple breaths. You can do this every morning that you wake up or any time that you need that type of somatic healing. and energy clearing. I invite you to try that. The second way is we're slowly going to start to rewire safety into our, we're going to rewire safety into our body. And these are just simple affirmations that you can keep either on a note app. You can just keep the free guide that I have linked below. But simply what you're going to do is you're just going to whisper safety into the body. You're going to say, safety is my birthright, and feel that energy just flowing down all over you. Safety is my birthright. The next piece I want you to whisper is that my body is my home. I love my body. My body is my home. And that really is returning your energy back into the physical expression of your soul in this life. It is about loving yourself no matter what size, no matter what health challenges, no matter how you feel about yourself today, both inside and out. And the final positive way in which I want you to rewire safety into your mind, body, and soul is by simply saying that I am safe in stillness. Oftentimes, people who've had a hard time processing trauma get very busy to avoid the healing. They might just start to work at healing other people. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. The second time I was sexually assaulted, I did that myself. I just dove into work. And I can still be guilty of that sometimes, but I'm very mindful that I need to put energy and space into my body, into my mindset, and into my spirit. And once I return back to this body of mine, no matter if it's aging, which it is, I have another birthday coming up. I don't know about you. No matter how young you are, no matter how old you are, these are techniques that work. The final piece that I'm going to share with you is I want you to create a daily ritual of self holding. And like how I woke up from my dream, I had the luxury of having a dog who I often call the beast because she likes to help in the kitchen a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. But if you can hold your favorite pillow, if you can hold your favorite pet, you can even take time to hold yourself by simply putting your arms around you. And I want you to just feel that connection to yourself or to your pet or to your pillow. For those people that have crystals, I just want to say that you can do this with crystals as well. So you can take your favorite crystal. I have a few here that I'm working with as I talk to you. So you can take your favorite crystals into your hands and also just close your eyes for several breaths and create a ritual of just holding space and being in the stillness. You can ask your higher self, you can ask your spiritual team to come in and help you feel rooted, grounded, and safe. This is particularly important with all of the political content, all of the videos that are on the algorithms that can be so upsetting to watch because they are also outside of our control. But the whole purpose of these three activities is to align and thrive. It is to heal. So while my dream is, as you would say, freaky deaky, I have to say, to me, this is bringing in a great clearance. I realize that I have a right to say no when being in a relationship, whether it is an intimate partnership, whether it is a family member, a coworker, a friend. I have a right to say at any time, I no longer want to be in that relationship. I have a right to say that I'm cultivating healing, healthy boundaries based on what my needs or wants are, needs and wants. And maybe that resonates for you as well. So this is a bit raw. This is a bit real. I hope that I didn't trigger some of your own memories. But if I did, use these three steps, use my free PDF on sacred ways to heal as a template that you can tap into at any time that you like. If you're interested in wanting to dive deeper into one-on-one healing with me, I have my quantum soul mapping. So that link is in the description box below. You can take time to explore what that's about. But when I do medical mediumship, I'm going to be sharing more of that here because there are ways that we can shift our mindset, shift our habits, understand healing foods are part of the process of regulating our nervous system and healing so that we no longer attract or have to it's not attract. Okay, let me just get in there just a little bit. It's not about attracting more chaos. It's really about understanding that you don't need the intensity. You don't need to accept those higher levels of intensity from people that are toxic around you. So I encourage you to feel this grand energy rising up within you that is guiding you into a very successful month ahead. And no matter when you actually watch this video, I want you to understand that mm, you are being cocooned and surrounded by a beautiful golden light that you are healing and that you are stepping forward into a future that is lighter and more abundant. Regardless of what the news says, regardless of what your bank account says, regardless of all of the medical reports that get you panicked and have your nervous system triggered into fight, flight, freeze, or even fawn for some of us. When we reclaim safety within our own body, we are healing our nervous system so that we truly get to change our daily habits, our interactions, the people who are in our lives, so that we can create and step into the timeline that we choose. So, thank you so much for taking some time to listen to all of my videos, including this one, and I will see you in my next. Appreciate you. Thank you.